The new afternoon show with the saddle on the side of the road, driving and crying. And in the studio with me right now are Tim and Jeff of Drivin and Cryin. How you doing?
All right, how are you? Pretty good.
So, that was it. That record was released last year or so?
Yeah, I think it was around October 1st last year.
And what have you guys been doing in the meantime?
Doing a little bit of touring, and we just got a record deal with Island Records, and we've been rehearsing for our next record, and that's why we're here in New York.
That was on 688 Records,
yeah.
right?
That was an independent label down in Atlanta.
Has that gone?
Yeah, that was their first or their second album. They released a compilation, and it did well, and this did pretty well on college radio, and the Dash Rip Rocks album just came out, and it's really good. And they just did a big tour.
So you're going to be working with Anton Fear on this new record?
Yeah, we have been working with him. We've been rehearsing.
How did you get together with him?
Through Island got us in touch with him. We talked to a number of producers, and we talked to Ron St. Germain, who did the Bad Brains record, and we talked to Elliot Mazer, who's done Neil Young.
You saw the Bad Brains show?
Yeah, it was great. It was definitely, I got my dose of rock and roll for like the month from that, you know. It's been a while since I've seen a real kick-ass band.
Yeah. You guys are from Atlanta,
right? Yeah.
The whole band, singer too.
Well, Kevin's originally from Milwaukee. He just moved down to Atlanta, and he was working construction when I met him, and I was in a band called the Night Porters, and we were like the local scene type band, and we started playing with Kevin, and it worked out really well, so you know, we did that independent record, and it got us a deal.
Yeah, great.
So now we're down at RPM Studio, and really excited about it.
What do you think the music's going to sound like now on this new record? Do you think it'll be pretty much true to the last record?
It's hard to say. You know, I don't know how it's going to sound until we can listen to it. You know, I mean, the rehearsal is nothing like the way an album sounds.
What are your ideas on what you want?
It's going to be real driving, sort of. You know, there's a lot of hard rock on it, and there's going to be some acoustic stuff, and that's kind of our trademark, doing real rough stuff and mellow stuff.
You're the bass player?
Yeah.
Okay. How is it working with a new drummer now? Because you're the one who's
working really well. Yeah. You know, Jeff's only been with us for about a month and a half, but he's catching on really good. And we've written a bunch of new songs too since just, you know.
So how do you feel with them?
I like it a lot compared to what I used to be doing.
What were you doing?
I used to play in a band called Mr. Crow's Garden in Atlanta, and I don't know, this style of music fits me better. I feel. We played some shows in Florida, in Birmingham. I think they went well. So
yeah, we're more of a jam band, and when we practice, we just do a lot of jamming. We don't really go over our material, and that's how we come up with new stuff most of the time. And Jeff's a good jammer. So what are you gonna play now? Another song off Scarred But Smarter?
Yes, another song off of Scarred But Smarter. The
688 record.
The 688 record. The Scarlet. What did we say?
Another Scarlet Butterfly.
Okay, and it's on the new afternoon show with Drivin and Cryin. Anything you want to say about it? Or
No.
Okay, just listen.
Just listen.
Drivin and Cryin, and the LP was Scarred But Smarter, and I've got Tim and Jeff in the studio with me, and we're going to talk a little bit more to Jeff now, because this is your first trip to New York, isn't it?
Right.
What are your impressions of New York?
Tell the truth.
Well,
We could handle it.
it looks like two cities on top of each other.
Two cities?
It's just crowded and just movement and just busyness everywhere compared to Atlanta.
And
That's
it's dirty.
interesting.
And it's
And it's
dirty.
dirty. It is. Yeah, isn't it terrible? You know
Yes.
what embarrasses me is that they tell all the tourists to go to 42nd Street, and it's like the worst part of Manhattan, practically. You know,
The
It's like
wildest
so-
part, up
yeah,
there
and
in
everybody goes to
Times
Times
Square.
Square. So
I like the people selling stuff on the street, so
yeah, you get
they
some
got
good bargains.
interesting stuff.
Yeah, interesting people too. They're usually some of them are real characters.
All our
you
cab
know.
drivers so far have been
I don't know.
pretty wild.
Yeah, you know, there's a new there's a new dress code for cab drivers. Would you believe that? They have to wear shoes and they have to wear shirts, and isn't that wild? I think that's
Pretty
pretty.
weird.
Yeah. So how does it compare to Atlanta? The music scene there and the people there. It's a lot more laid back in Atlanta. I
Well,
would
I've only been
imagine.
here one day, but
I don't know really much about the music scene here,
Mhm.
but I mean it's pretty good down there. There's a lot of young bands, and
you don't get the diversity though. They're just
Mhm.
every
know.
different band is here.
I guess the bands are more impressionable by what's going on down there. Just like here, it's like the scene is really that connected,
Mhm.
Also,
like it is down there. We have the Athens scene, which is only 50 miles away, and the Atlanta scene, which is a little bit more laid back. But
in
there's
Atlanta,
a lot of good bands.
Atlanta now, a lot of the Atlantic bands are getting the big draw compared to
Yeah.
Athens, where that was reversed a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Do you still think that there's still a is there a lot of places to play around in Atlanta, or is the scene going down in that
Well, the
respect?
688 Club was like a great club for like 10 years, and it's been closed, and it reopened, and it closed again. So like now the only place to play is the Metroplex, and it's a cool club, but it's just in not in a very busy part of town.
4 or 5 clubs have closed down in the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's hard for a club to stay
Yeah. Are there-
afloat down there.
Are there a lot of underground clubs sort of opening up now?
No,
'Cause-
that's really what they need, I
Yeah.
think. Because Athens had the 40-watt closed. Now that there's the old 40-watt, which is a little tiny place, and they run it so they have such a low overhead,
Mhm.
and they just have one band a night. So it's just they keep it real simple,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
it's real cool.
Yeah, that's been the trend here. I think that a lot of
Yeah.
the smaller clubs have been bringing bands in and so helping out in the scene, or else it would just be the major names of new music that would be playing.
Mhm.
Just whatever draws. So, what are your perceptions of New York while you're here?
Well, I like because it's so convenient. It's just like a lot of cab rides and a lot of elevator rides
Mhm.
and a lot of walking. But I like the all-night delis, and just everything's right at your fingertips.
Yeah, you've got everything you need
Yeah.
within a block.
And there's a big difference between down here in the village and as opposed to, let's say, different parts of Manhattan in itself. Down here is my favorite part of Manhattan.
Yeah, we're staying right down here in the
Yeah.
village.
It's always alive. If you're walking around 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll still see people walking around.
Yeah.
So,
Action.
What are you going to be doing besides recording your album? Are you going to be playing anywhere around? Or
I'm not
in the
sure
future?
of when or where. Supposedly we're playing around the end of the month, either at the Ritz or CBGB's.
Mhm.
I don't know for sure. Our main priority here, though, is to get this record recorded
Okay.
and
Do you,
mixed.
the songs that you'll be putting on the record, do you think that some of the songs you've been playing already are going to go on there?
About half of them we've had in our set.
Mhm.
Ever since we finished this record, we came up with a lot of the songs that are going to be on this next record. But a lot of the songs, we ever since we've gotten our new drummer, we haven't done very many live shows, and we've come up with a lot of new material since then, and a
Okay.
lot of that's going to be on the new record.
So you're in town now with the New Music Seminar, and there's a whole, like, so many bands to go
Mhm.
see. What, besides the Bad Brains, what are some of your favorites that you really liked or really?
We
Looking
saw
forward to
Robin
see.
Hitchcock the other night.
What'd you think of him?
At Maxwell's, and I thought it was really cool.
He's wild. Yeah.
He's real funny.
Yeah, he's really wild.
And I like the Bad Brains and Circle Jerks. I think we're going to go see the Cult tonight. That ought to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a good show.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see.
glad you came up, and good luck with the recording.
All right.
When do you think the record should be coming out? Do you have an idea? Or?
We're shooting for around the 1st of October,
Okay.
and everything's on schedule so far. So We're just gonna work real
Okay.
hard.
So maybe in about a month's time we might be seeing you live around town.
We'll be playing
Yeah.
with Los Lobos.
Yeah, and we might be doing a few gigs with Los Lobos on the East Coast too.
Okay.
About that time we finish
So
recording.
anytime you get anything, set down straight, and make sure you tell us, and
All
maybe
right.
come back up and visit us again. And
All
so
right,
I look
we'd love
forward
to.
to the record, and good luck with everything. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
We're
a
going to
lot.
listen to one more song, Keys to Me.
Yeah.
And is there anything you want to say about that? Or?
Well, it might be put in a movie on the soundtrack. I don't know, but that would be nice.
All right,
Be fun. It's being produced by the woman who did Decline and Fall, the Western Civilization, or The Decline, or whatever. I can't remember her name, but I think that's the one it's going to be in.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming up. It's Tim and Jeff of Drivin and Cryin. They're recording a new record coming out in about October. Maybe we'll see them in some dates around town. And this is from their independent label LP, going to big time now, right?
Yeah, well, this is our chance to make or break.
Good luck. We wish you a lot of luck, and thanks for coming up.
All right,
The New
thanks.
Afternoon
Thank
Show.
you.